he died. The ship's engines cannot be powered until a replacement regulator has been properly installed. These surveillance devices allow me to monitor you constantly. Please ignore them. Due to catastrophic power failure, all doors will remain on security lockdown. These are the crew's quarters. Alex preferred to travel alone, but he always had me.
I'll be with you, friend. I'm Ernie, from the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources. Town sent me hereabouts to check on the guards. Now, it seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but seems to me they're all dead. Mind telling me what happened here? Altercation, you say? Yeah, shame as that goes. Spacer's Choice policy strictly prohibits dying during work hours. Guess I'd better get to cleaning up. Can't just leave company property scattered about, bleeding out on the dirt. No can do, friend. That armor's Spacer's Choice property. Bodies, too. Living or otherwise. Company policy, you see. You don't want to amble on over to Edgewater at your earliest convenience. Constable's office might have work for someone with your, let's just say, aggressive disposition. Oh, and be sure to stop by the Edgewater Provisioner for a can of salt tuna. It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's Choice. Don't get paid bits to chat with strangers. You want to chew the rag, go talk to Silas over by the cemetery.
you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend. You talk too pretty for a marauder. Most of them just grunt and yell. Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means sick. Company policy. If it was up to me, I'd put the whole town. Quotas, mostly. Got a backlog of... 4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy, you'll find him in town. All... Yeah? Former people, yeah. Marauder's been raiding my graves, you see. Hence the armed guards. Oh no. They are after the most precious loot of all. Spacer's Choice Company property. If those marauders swipe any more bodies out of my cemetery, company's gonna dock my pay. You could look at it that way, I suppose. You could look at us, but you'd be wrong. We're so... Every now and again, a virulent plague sweeps through our town. Hang on, I'm doing some math in my head. Work's been real good to me. Fresh air, exercise.
I could really go for some salt tuna.
Huh? What? I wasn't dozing off.
Spacer's Choice takes care of its own.
Another day at the cannery.
Don't go knocking your work. At least we've got work.
Keep your distance, friend. This house is no place for a traveler.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with physical hygiene. Recapitulate. No, thank you. That's quite all right. I've seen enough. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet spacers. You will also report to me in the event of... Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary... I mean that I can't possibly pay my gravesite fees. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemished... Edgewater is built on the discipline and sacrifice of its people. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. By the grace of... Frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of... Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid... Much obliged. What can I do for you? You know about Eugene? How? You probably heard it from one of our local gossip mongers. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave. More than a few. Those teeth were his personal savings. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I? Yes, I suppose I must. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature and an IOU.
Wish we had some better rations.
Just the way it goes, I suppose.
Yes, Mr. Thompson. I'm fine. Whoa, did Mr. Thompson send you? Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow. And what are you doing here? Visiting? What? No. So Silas can afford a hire. Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he's... Sounds like he's already told you. You may as well hear it from me. I'm dying. I'm not long for this world. The date of my expiration is fast approaching. And soon I shall be ushered... It's plague. Has to be. Silas knows... I am? Law. I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could... Couple hours out of your day and some... There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Strong... I need you to break in. I'll do what I can. You will not find... I have it on good authority. I tried medicating myself with adrenatime. Didn't do much. Anyway, I can't just buy medicine. Distribution of medicine is... more like the company won't treat me. So you'll do it then? You oblige me with your haste. I think I feel... Just keep your head down when you're in there. I know that. Reed would have wrote me up. Constable would have locked me up.
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy. Excuse me. I'm Esther Blaine, Spacer's Choice Actuary. I overheard your talk with Abernathy. Abernathy is a well-known hypochondriac. Anthracillin is wasted on him. You're better... All I'm saying is Abernathy's worked in this town longer than some of us been alive. How do I put this gently? I probably shouldn't tell you. Don't... Alright. Here's a summary. A lot of sick people in this town, and we don't have the medicine to treat them all. Can't reach out to corporate without crossing a river of red... Something like that. Look, I'm not... That's all I can ask of you.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you? I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of a... My proposition benefits the both. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over... I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legal. The people living in the botanical labs, they're Edgewater is... If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company... My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about... Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's... That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. We belong to one community.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all... I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosed...
Well, I am glad to hear that.
Don't make me report you to Mr. Thompson.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Can we talk? Sorry. It's just... Mr. Thompson has his... To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet. I don't know anybody well. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around. Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. All I know is she left after her son... Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max. About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. And maybe he can think of something else to try. It's just an idea. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, that's what my dad used. Where are we headed? That's on account of how I never met her. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not. Could be. Where are we headed? Yep, be right over. Got it.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Ease off the threats, friend. I'm going.
Boss's orders. We all got quotas to make.
You're safer inside the walls.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're announced, and Ms. Holcomb as well.
Just tagging along.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Not to put too fine a point, also, you lack the distinctive worker gaze. Usually, pretty universal here.
It's just...
I'm simply bemoaning... Yes, I must double my efforts to... Yes, and thank you for pointing it out.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? I can't imagine what would be... That seems well...
The way we do it's by...
Adelaide McDevittson. I can see Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls, so does that strike you? Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring... If it were as easy as a few soothing words in the right... If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice... One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down... I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, my retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the... It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name... What? No, I don't... I just want to keep the writing out... On the contrary, my position means that I am... I can assure you, you won't find... Glad we see eye... Thank you.